Good morning from the feeding area. It's kind of a overcast, dreary Saturday morning, but we're not here to talk about the weather. We're here to talk about these amazing additions to the feeding area you see here. You see all the crows sitting here, but you notice none of them are moving. That's because, thanks to a birthday gift from Savannah last Sunday, it was my 55th birthday, she has heard me talk about these, the plastic crows, and how they are the ultimate level of protection of our little friends here, and how I wanted to do the walking crow decoys. The regular followers have heard me mention those numerous times. So she surprised me and got 10 of these walking crows, or what I call walking crows, and we'll go ahead and get to that. So I mentioned I was going to hang them from the string. So this little guy is hung from string, and I use pink string because I don't want any birds flying into it. We don't want anybody injured. And you can see that the wind's blowing slightly, not real bad, but we've got a little bit of wind. And he's just walking around, just like a real crow would walk around. Now they come with a spike. They're made out of plastic. They are very, very lightweight. You can barely feel them in your hand. And the spike, of course, is so you can kind of position them throughout your yard. But they also come with an eyelet where you can hang them, and they do this. Now you'll notice I hung this guy a little high. The spike's about 4 to 6 inches off the ground, and the reason for that is simple. Hello, Mr. Blue Jay. How are you doing this morning? Hello, I see you. Yes, sir, I do. I see you. Good morning. So when it rains, you going over there to have some breakfast? Well, good for you, buddy. The limbs and the leaves and all that, they get heavier and they droop. So I have allowed for droop on this guy, so even when it rains, he will still move around like this and not drag the ground. So, as mentioned in the previous videos, the #1 deterrent for hawks is crows. They hate crows. Cooper's hawks, red-tailed hawks, you name it. If it's a hawk, they hate crows. Now these are made by a company called, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right, Gemplers, I believe is how you pronounce their company name. I do apologize if I pronounced it wrong. There's a cardinal coming in this morning. Now, in full disclosure, this company is not sponsoring the channel. They don't even know I have purchased these, or actually Savannah purchased them. I'm going to tag them in the post so they'll know then, but they don't know now. Now, also in full disclosure, we actually set these out yesterday. I did not want to do a review on a product before we tested it here and see how all of our critters reacted to it. Now, you see, to make sure that everybody would get along with their new little friends. Look at these guys. Does that not look realistic? Do they not look like little crows sitting there ready to have lunch? So I have already put out fresh food this morning for everybody here. And you notice when I was standing back there that the cardinals are already coming down. So not only did the squirrels, the turkeys, the armadillos, you can see I had corn out there, it's gone. All the snacks that were put out here yesterday, we put these out about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon and put the normal amount there at that area. What I've started to do now is also put some here on the chair, because everybody's favorite little klepto, Chippy, he of course, he raised that stash. But I also put some here for the birds and squirrels. And of course, we cannot forget the plastic protector. So I always put some in front of him. So they have multiple locations to feed, so they don't fight, everybody gets along. Now, I put all this out yesterday. Actually, Savannah surprised me with this. It was great. She said, "Hey, you got the camera out?" I said, "No, why?" She goes, "You've got a whole bunch of crows at the feeding area." I opened the door and I see this. It's just adorable. And with the exception of the little hangy dude there, because she didn't want to get on the ladder and risk falling, and I understand that. So I hung dude up this morning. But other than that, they're exactly how she had them. And we wanted to test them to make sure that not only did they work, but that the other animals didn't mind. You see a cardinal and a blue jay right there coming down to eat, so obviously they don't mind at all. The squirrels were coming out, and when I peeked out this morning, a couple of our real living breathing crows had flown down and had a conversation with these guys and welcomed them to the neighborhood. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. So we're going to put a link in the description below, so if you want to order some of these, you can. Now, a couple things about that. They're $10 a piece, which, considering what you're getting, is not bad. Savannah looked and looked and looked, and she said these were the only life-size plastic crows she could find, period. You get some metal ones and you get a bunch of little party-size ones for like decoration. No, these are actual crow-size plastic crows. And the detail on these guys, I mean, look at this. Look at that detail. He looks like a plastic crow. He's a plastic crow. He looks like a real crow. And to a crow, he's going to be, hey, friend, how you doing? To a hawk, he's going to be like, oh, no, we want to go somewhere else. So, like I said, we've got 10. I'm not going to leave them this concentrated. They're going to be kind of spread out in a broad perimeter. So any hawk overflying the area sees his arch nemesis have already landed, and they are protecting our friends. And I will be doing a few of them, like our little hanging friend here. There is absolutely no wind currently, and I guess he's just still moving. Well, there's a little bit. I can see the cedar tree moving just a skosh, and you can see he's just moving around, which that's important because specifically with Cooper's hawks. Now, for those not familiar with Cooper's hawks, I have a special place of hatred in my heart for them. The only thing they live on primarily is birds. Now, if they get super hungry, they'll go after a squirrel, but they eat songbirds, and they average one a day. I hate Cooper's hawks. We do have some here, and thankfully, with all the multiple layers of protection that I have installed, they don't have much luck here, which is the way I like it. But now we have installed the ultimate level with their arch nemesis, the crows. So I wanted to give everybody some feedback. I wanted to test them first. I'm not going to put anything on the channel that I can't tell you, yes, no, maybe. Well, this is a definite yes. Worked so good that we had real crows down this morning, which is obviously a good sign. And we have, and if you notice, the aluminum right here that's normally swaying in the wind is missing. We had a storm come through, and it ripped it off. I think it's actually still back here. It was back here with one of the crows. Well, now it's missing. I'm not sure where it went. Okay, I thought it was back here, but the storm came through and it was so strong that it literally just ripped it, tied that up and ripped it off. And that's a little interesting, to say the least. But now we have our I use the term feathered friends here, but we have some more additions to the plastic protector family. So like I said, the link is in the description below, just in case you would like to get some of these to protect your furry and feathered friends as well.